What's going on, people? Good morning. Welcome to the Morning View with KG, Owen, and myself, and all of you. Yes, it is Friday, 15th of December. It's the beginning of the weekend, the beginning of whatever's going to happen this weekend. We got press conference today. We're going to hear what Erik ten Hag has to say. Squad news. Who's back fit? Is anyone back fit? We need Maguire. We're going to war. We're going to Anfield. Need our best defender. Need Rashi back. Need the thinking and the brain power and the 30 goals Rashford back from last year. We need Luke Shaw back in there, experienced player. Need all these players back because we need to make sure that Ten Hag keeps his job. That's what we need to make sure. And the players, fans, it ain't about us of whether Ten Hag gets sacked or not. Them bunch of players need to start showing up for this manager. And we're going to talk about all of that during this show. But I want to start with something, right? I want to start with something that I have to do because
I want
I've
to start with
seen this.
something, by the way.
Yeah,
Flex.
I want to start with something.
Your camera is terrible.
Still, right? Well,
Yeah,
do you know what?
yeah.
Do you know what? Until it is, until it's better, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
Think
it.
about your life. You are a
doing it.
failure. You are a
Exactly.
failure. You can never make it.
Which is really, really weird. Pissed me off now. Right, refresh settings.
Yeah. Well, he came in all fire, KG, and then now.
Yeah, he came back with like sounding the way he wants to sound, but how's everyone doing?
Now you're back. You're better now.
Better.
Is he all right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
We are. Look at that. Hardwired, max speed, everything. All right, cool. Well, let me know what that's saying, because if not, I'll have to
keep
do,
the energy
I'll have
up.
to do. Yeah,
Keep the
I'll have
energy
to
up.
do what Man United needs to do, which is a full-scale reset on all of this. So I'd need to go and reset the router. I would go and reset my laptop, take out the capture card, in and out. You know what I'm saying? I would do a full reset setting, which is what our club actually needs as well, instead of division. So what I would say is, like, I've seen this happen before, right? We all have, but I'm talking about my personal experience of, like, when you create content, where it goes versus where it ends up, right? And now I'm starting to see, like, the toxicity, and not even just the toxicity, the sort of confusion of what things are versus what they're not. So, and I'll say exactly what I mean by that. So I've seen, like, a lot of people comment on social media towards, like, how we've been dealing with this as a channel, and I've seen people in the comments, oh, I'm disappointed in this channel because it feels like you're Ten Hag out, or you're saying this, or you're saying that. And then on the same side, I've dealt with comments, or we've dealt with comments with, oh, bunch of morons, just because you get a press pass, you don't want to say what it's really like. Flex, you've been in pictures with some of these players, or you've seen some of these players, so you're just backing Ten Hag and saying just to keep him, just because you want to keep, I can't even take them all off there. You want to keep all them press cards there. You just want more. So you're just going to say that as it is. I think if you think that, I would say to you, I wouldn't cuss you and be rude, but I would say you couldn't be any more wrong. You couldn't be any more wrong from where we're coming from. And listen with your ears about, like, the things that we say versus the things that we don't say. Like, this is absolutely for opinion. So anyone who I have seen who's like, Ten Hag needs to leave, and I don't believe in him. And, WJ Barrett I think it is one of the most Ten Hag in people you could ever see. Some of his super chats recently, he's saying, I've had enough. I'm not out here shooting him down.
WJ's had enough, yeah?
Yeah, bro. WJ's moving crazy.
Nah,
WJ Barrett, if you're there, if you're watching, you don't have to send a super chat, bro, but just let us know you're in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's in, man. He's in.
Right.
He's in.
So, and I'm not out here shutting him down and saying, you're this, you're that. And then also, when there's other people saying that he should stay and stuff like that, I'm not just saying you're an idiot. Ooh, what's wrong with, like, you just have to accept people's opinion for what it is. If we're saying that Ten Hag is under pressure, like, it's because we feel he's under pressure. Do you not feel he's under pressure? Do you not feel he's under pressure? Do you think everything's okay? Not once has any one of us on this channel, and even if we did, so what? Because that would be our opinion, by the way. That would be our opinion. But not one of us has said, get him out. Get him out. Clueless. He's an idiot. No. every single, and to my knowledge, unless there's been a stream that I haven't been on that I'm completely unaware of, again, which would be fine if that's their opinion.
Only some of my, what do you call it? The panel that's on the
Yeah.
match.
Micah,
Yeah.
Micah, was it Michael or Raf?
Raf.
He said it. He said, I'm done.
Yeah.
He said, I'm done.
Out of all of us, he's the first one to say it.
And in the name of making this community, yeah, right, of what it is supposed to be, which is a place for people to come and have their opinion and not be censored and held back. If when people start to have these opinions in their own time, at their own pace, we start saying, get off. I don't want to hear from you. You think that. What kind of thing is this? What kind of community did you guys think you signed up for then? At the first point of we might disagree on things. It doesn't make sense.
I know you're being serious, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's moving potato. I'm doing a full reset.
Wait, so what Kristen said, what do you call it? Owen's camera, done okay. KG's camera, done okay. Flex's camera, not okay.
Right, full scale reset. The capture card's coming up. On my thing, it looks crisp. All you look looks crisp. Right. We're refreshing. See, look,
Owen's camera. KG's camera. Flex's camera.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
You're right, bro. It's just
us. Yeah, it's just us. I think like Flex's anger downgraded his internet connection, but it's a good point that he brings up, certainly, right, KG?
Yeah.
Which is, you know, and I've said this quite a few times about a variety of different topics throughout the last sort of 12 months or so when it comes to Manchester United, which is we have to be kind of weary as just because it's maybe news we don't want to hear doesn't necessarily mean there's no weight to it. It's a bit like with the Ineos and Qatar thing, right? People had whichever one in Ineos with Carve banned, gone. They had people that they wanted, and then when they heard news that was not what they wanted to hear, immediately it was rubbish. Immediately it was BS, right? And I think we need to be wary of this. I don't know. I had a phone call yesterday. I was going to say,
wait, hold on. Let's shout you out. Listen, Owen, was a good friend yesterday. Owen was in fine form. Owen called in and he's like, it's a check-in call. I was sick, haven't been well, haven't been streaming properly, I haven't just done anything. And even yesterday, I was like, I need to get back into it. He's like, one more day. He's like, you don't sound good. Just go sleep, mate.
Well, this is good. Now KG's what is going on with these guys? I'm left alone. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is why you can't trust these guys, yeah? On a morning show with both of them two, they've both had technical issues and they both left. I mean, you know, Flex is broken, KG is broken. KG says I'm a good friend, and then he goes.
It's embarrassing.
Now I'm going back to the old nickname, Mr. Reliable. I'm the only one here. Ridiculous. Amanor says with the super chat, says KG, don't go anywhere. Eric Ten Hag needs to pick Varane. Well, Amanor, I blame you. That one's on you. You said don't go anywhere, and KG's gone. He left. He's not coming back. Says, you guys are doing a great job. What are your thoughts on Hansi Flick or De Zerbi if Eric Ten Hag is sacked, if things get worse? Well, I would maybe take that one back. I don't know if we're doing a great job because both of my co-hosts are gone. What is going on? Oh, okay, I got it. I'll add you back. KG the comedian, I can confirm, is back. He is. I can hear you. I'm just adding you back. I'm adding you back. There you go. You're back.
I can't believe it. We had a proper power outage.
And now Flex is back as well. But Flex, you just missed it. Both of you are gone.
I had a power outage. Yeah, literally just went. That was just. I was like, wait.
Well, you all laughed at me.
What?
So I'm
And
saying.
the worst thing is, KG was
Gremlins
praising
in
me
the
he went, Owen's a good friend.
Was it your internet doing that mad thing again, Owen, or is that KG's?
No,
What?
KG's had power
No,
cut.
mine literally had a power outage. Like, I think, yeah, the whole house just went.
Well,
The
there you
bully.
go. I mean,
The bully.
I don't even know where to pick up back from because I've missed a lot.
No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, this is what I was gonna say after we got into the what you call it. We're in the toxic cycle, bro. This is it. It's gonna be this. There's gonna be fans that need to channel some of their anger, some of their blame. If you're too positive, you're gonna get cussed. If you're not angry enough, you're gonna get cussed. We're in that stage now where we know this. We've been on this journey before. Everybody should understand what this thing is. It's gonna get after the Liverpool game is when it's gonna get worse. I imagine. You know, if we lose to Liverpool heavily, someone's gonna be like, "Why are you still standing for this crap? This is rubbish. Don't you like your standards are on the floor?" We know the journey. We've been here before, guys. We've had this with Jose. Like, for this manager, I realize that it's deeper than Ten Hag. There's a lot that needs to happen. But one thing with just taking this time off and stuff, and I've been able to step back and look back at it. The one thing I know that is necessary is Ten Hag can't do the signings anymore. You know, he needs to be away from. They should ask him his opinion of these players, but he can't bring in the signings. I think the blast radius that he gets on that affects him. Some managers like Pochettino, because he didn't bring in all those players that cost £1 billion, he's almost getting somewhat of a blight. But the thing is, you can point the finger and say, Ten Hag, that's on you. Onana, that's on you. Anthony, that's on you. You know, all the players that the players that haven't worked, you can literally say, Ten Hag, mate, you did that. Mason Mount, even though he hasn't played that many games, Ten Hag, that's on you. Why'd you do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what he needs to do now is, I believe there's a good coach there. I don't believe there's a lack of. No, I don't like that.
That's worse. Yeah.
That's even worse. 10 that shit off.
Yeah, we can't do that one.
Owen
would have to get me an OBS and do the coloring and all that. That's long.
No, literally, there's no saving that one. Just go back to that one.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Yeah, but then this is what needs to happen is we need to see change in terms of the structure around Ten Hag. There is a good manager there. Now, the McTominay thing is still strange for me. The fact that he continues to go with it. And because we're in the phase of being angry, we can't really, like, when you listen to a press conference, you think, oh, that's just waffle. You know what I mean? He might say something, you're like the press conferences are probably rubbing people the wrong way now, but they're just in that phase where I don't like it at the moment. Some fans have gone, you know, so it is where it is, and there's nothing bringing back those fans, I think, except if we start getting a bunch of great results. But then when you look at the results, you look at the games that we have that are coming soon, you ask, well, where are the good results coming from?
And I think also as well, it's a case of with the stuff that he says in the media, obviously he's not helping himself, but it's also in that territory of what else can he say? You know what I mean? With certain things. I mean, it doesn't help that he comes out after the Bayern Munich game, right, and goes, you know, I thought we played very well and we didn't deserve to lose. And you go, mate, don't say that. Just don't. That's not the good thing to say. KG though, I mean, you were, like I said, you were out of commission yesterday.
Yeah.
You would have seen. Well, actually, I broke the news to you, didn't I, on the phone about the Graham Potter stuff?
Yeah.
You have now an open forum. You have an open forum. Well, no, actually, he had to confirm the rumor. I said, "Have you heard?" And he went, "Something about Graham Potter, but that's not true, is it?" And I went, "Well, yeah, there might be something to it." And then I think there was a load of like cuss words afterwards. So
yeah.
So what are your thoughts, KG?
I just think this is. I think be careful what we wish for, because it could only get worse. Man United going into interim settings or whatever settings, you're talking about a manager that couldn't deal with the pressure of Chelsea. Yo, like, we're different when it comes to pressure. Yeah, that's nice, Fleck. Well done. When it comes to pressure, Man United are like,
didn't do anything.
Okay.
Well, I'm in OBS trying to do something else.
All right, cool. Like, we're like, it's just the heaviest. We're just too much. It's the weighted cloak that Piccolo wears when he's fighting. Dragon Ball Z reference. It's heavy.
Yeah, thought that.
It's heavy. Yeah, it's very heavy. It's ridiculous, and I don't think someone like Potter could deal with it. I know some fans have said, well, his playing style. And I said, well, what is his playing style? And is he going to bring that to Man United? With what players? You know, like, it's just not going to. And then you're talking about big players or players that believe they're better than them, bigger than the manager. You just brought in another guy who hasn't won.
Even
Like,
less. Even
won,
less so.
He's even less. He's less than Ten Hag. What we have to do is we have to get through this. We don't like how it feels, but we have to get like right now. We have to commit to this manager and let him complete the job. Like, at least give him the end of the season. Like, let him complete the work in it. But then to get rid makes no sense, because what you're getting rid of for is ridiculous. I don't want to play under Graham Potter. That's not a life that I'm looking forward to. Absolutely not. Floor's yours.
Let's Fleck.
I'll be honest, man. This is doing my head in.
Like, stop trying, man. Just
leave it like this.
Yeah.
You know when just everything works and nothing's different? I'm just like, why is it doing that?
You sort of
I've tried every single camera I've got.
I don't think it's a camera thing there. I think
it's a
connection.
Thing,
it's a connection.
Maybe I should just go on my Wi-Fi and not even have this. I don't know. Wi-Fi is just not, hardwire's not working. Yeah, like I said this so many times. Yeah, like, you just got to stick with this, like, and see it out. Unless, like I said, I don't know if people are misreading the fact that I'm saying, when Ineos do come in, if they want that full reset settings, if they want that, I'm not against that. If it's all of it.
You're not against what?
I'm not against, yeah. If Ineos came in and said, this is not my first choice, by the way, but if Ineos came in and said, because the results kept being bad, and said, we're just going to change all of this. Players, staff, manager, everything. Absolutely everything. I could get behind that more than just trying to keep doing the same things. Right.
But they're not going to, though. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be Ineos come in. If they say, you know what, let's get rid of this manager, they get rid of the manager, the players start playing well again. The players will always
but that's what I'm saying. They have to change the upstairs, all of it, which would be significant. And then with that, in turn, again, I'm thinking best case scenario. Because you're changing that would then lead to mass exodus. It would lead to people like McTominay, Maguire, Shaw, Dallo, like, even if it's Rashford, or even if it's Bruno, whoever it needs to be, full out. Make sure Martial's gone off the big P's. Make sure Casemiro's gone off the big P's. Make sure that, you know what I mean, obviously the Sancho situation gets sorted. We get a blank canvas all over in turn to rebuild this thing. But what I want to happen, what I prefer to happen, and again, I need to make this clear because I think people are misconstruing what I'm saying. What I want to happen is for them to come in and for Ten Hag to fall into that plan, and it looks different for him. So he's going to have to adjust as well, by the way. We're not really thinking about that. Like, Ten Hag's come in on a certain premise that he's got certain assurances of to how much control he has. Now, he's going to have to accept that maybe he doesn't have that level of control anymore because it looks different around him. It looks different above him, which should be a good thing. So I want them to come in, lay out where they're at, give him the backing, give him, more importantly, the resources and the processes around him that he can then trust in, and then also give him the opportunity to get rid of the players properly, like, and start again properly. And, yeah, put a bit more pressure on him for some of these signings he's made. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to take a bit of that power away. We ain't just going in Eredivisie or just man that you know from Ajax or you've played against at Utrecht or whatever. We ain't doing that. Like, there's a proper system in place. We're going to our chief, like in the EAFC thing where we send the scouts out to flip in Brazil, who's the next thing. We're going to him. When we was employing them women who had remember the big stars, the high stars, where it's like they got the experience of this coach or that. We're going to the best in class around the world in this scouting network thing. We're not just going to go, we don't know what we're doing. So, like, it's kind of on you. If you show us someone that you kind of believe in, that is just,
that's what we did. I think that's what we did.
Because that's what we've done. That's what we've done. Look at the signings he's made. Like, some of them you can go, all right, the Mason Mount one, I don't know, like number 7 is crazy. Maybe that was a bit of the Glazers. I don't know. But most of the signings he's made, they're Ten Hag's. They're Ten Hag. I don't care what anybody says. Christian Eriksen is a Ten Hag signing. Makes sense to get him because he was free. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying Ten Hag signing. Casemiro, again, he wanted Frankie de Jong the whole time, and Man United probably panicked and said, Casemiro's available. I believe that. Anthony, it's not Ten Hag's fault we paid 80 million pounds for him because we should have got him earlier. But in the end, he still insisted, I don't care what it costs now. That's your fault, but still get me him. Not, I do rate him. He has played for me, but yeah, we're taking a burn there. He's not worth 80 million quid. Let's come back next year, or let's try again in January. It's only Ajax. But that's disrespectful. Not only Ajax, but we can come in January and maybe try and get him. I know how it works there, and I can get him out there for a better price. Let's not do that. He said, no, get him now. Onana said, get him now.
Can I ask a question? Would we feel differently if Anthony was cheaper?
Well, it got that bad, not really, but it'd make it a little less flow.
I think, yeah, it'd be less of a blow. But I don't think the sort of discourse would change around him that much, because I still think we'd be like, he's still, because even if we got him for the original quoted price, 40 million, we'd still be going, is he really value for money at this point, right? And even that, it's like, well, he's not though. Still, that's the point. He's not. It's not even the fact that he's not delivering up to his price tag. It's that he's just not delivering in general. His record in terms of goals and assists, let's be honest, is terrible. Is rubbish. And then you get into the territory of, so he's a right-sided winger, an attacking player. What is he actually delivering? Nothing. He's not delivering anything. I mean, and this is where I do sympathize to an extent with Ten Hag, but you can say, well, how can you sympathize with him? Because a lot of them are his signings. But like, I look at the Bournemouth game, and I've said this a few times, like maybe apart from one or two players, like for instance, KG, when that Bournemouth team came out, did you look at the team and go, oh, it's massively different than what I was going to select?
No, it's a team I wanted to play.
Maybe apart from Martial up front, maybe. Yeah. But sort of one player, and also with the injuries, right? And then it loses 3-0.
Martial might work because I thought it might work. I didn't think it was going to be 3-0. Went into that game with I went into that game confident. I went to that game saying, this is the game that we get a win from, then it's going to get nuts. Then we got peppered. Owen, I'm so sorry, bro. Like, you deserve better. I ain't gonna lie, you deserve better. This is not the environment you should be working in like this. Like, it's a mess.
The
We're not saying anything. We're just out. Like, I've done it today. He's in, he's out. I don't like it's a joke. It's literally it's a joke. It's a joke. He's back again.
He's back again.
Before I try something like completely against the grain.
Tell us though. Just like give us a sign or give us a warning, bro.
It's fine, you just carry on.
We have been.
Anyway, go
now,
on.
what does it look like? Ooh. It's even worse.
You right?
Well, no, so you're right at the moment.
Flex,
well, now on my thing, everything's just worse.
You know what's funny? I was saying to KG before we started, I went, I'm telling you, Flecknology is real. Yeah, Flecknology is a real thing. And whenever I say this,
oh, that's fine.
Flex goes, no, it's not. It is. Flecknology is a real thing. It's real.
Yeah.
But
is KG a bit potatoey now as well?
KG goes in and out, but he always goes in and out. KG always goes in and out.
Come on.
That's KG. That's Kevin Gary.
Inconsistent.
Maybe I'm going to change the port of which.
I've
taken this out now.
Things, Flex.
No, I need to. I'm going to try one last thing.
Look at him. That is peak Flecknology. He's holding up an Ethernet cable going, let me just try something.
Yeah, because I've gone Wi-Fi now. So now on the other end of this Ethernet cable, this is Flecknology settings. I'm going to teach you like a masterclass here. I'm going to go downstairs and try.
Now you're doing a masterclass when you're in the show that you're in your show.
I'm just letting you know because you said give you warning, so I'm going to tell you. I've taken this out on this end. On the side that's actually in the box, I'm going to move the port and see if it works. Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work.
We don't know until we try. Got to think positive.
I don't even think that's a great. I'm not going to lie to you. Wait, oh shit! Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. That's such a stupid idea. Oh, where's Owen gone?
No, I'm back.
Okay, that's so stupid. It's like, bro. I think you just.
I don't know.
Oh, anyway, listen. Let's talk about
I also wanted to. Someone asked me,
Go on.
wanted to bring this up to you, and that was where's the comment? Someone basically wanted me to bring up the song, the Champions League song. They feel like you've got some explaining to do, because we've told the people the sort of behind the scenes story of that one, which was and I'm not trying to throw people under the bus. I can just firmly say I had nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with that song. And maybe my total contribution was we need to do a song. We need to do a Champions League song. We had a Europa League song. I kept asking Josh. He kept pointing. It's all up here, mate. It's all up here. It's all up here. He said, I'm going to go to KG. I'm going to ask him to do some lyrics and put down something on a track. We hadn't heard anything. Kate Flex got again. and then one day I got a message from you that said, this is what I've been thinking about. And it was this whole thing. And we talk a lot about the flex judge. This, I think it just supersedes any of that. It really factor in the Onana song as well. You've got a lot of explaining to do.
Basically, what we realize now is if I make a song, we're in trouble. And I should have known, because this club has previous. We had Ollie's at the wheel, and that turned into a car crash. And the names of the players as well. Because you think about it, Ollie's at the show me how good does it feel. We got
Sancho, Paul Pogba, and Fred.
Or even your Onana song. It's not about Rashi, Bruno, Mason, and Sanchi.
As soon as you mention players, it just turns to shit. But Onana, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Did the song just break down the players? Did Onana hear that song instead of feeling confident and great? Because they say this is the thing, you can't really win in it. Because if you over support the players and really gas them up, it's a bad thing. If you don't support the players enough and show them a lot of praise and stuff, it's even worse. So right now, we have to go into games like vanilla or just like flavorless ice cream, just cold. And I don't know how to live my life like that. Now, the tune, it hasn't worked out in it. But then, are we going to say, this is what all I want to ask the community right now is, was it my fault, that Onana spilled in all those goals and we had the worst Champions League run?
You don't get to say no. This is where I push back.
It sounds very flexish.
I want to ask a question.
Bro. I'm glad you're saying this. I'm glad you're saying this because you, Kevin Gary, in the midst of my peak judgeness, talking tapping goalposts, you're talking saying things in the press conference. Bro, remember, I done the thing David De Gea loving, and then he went and flipping threw the ball away 3 times in Sevilla after I tried to big hugs, you know what I mean? Giving big reassurances to players and saying it's okay. Dallo, how you doing after your injury, bro? We got Carling Cup. I'm fine. I've come back from the World Cup. I feel really good. Hamstring gone straight. So when that was happening,
KG's done the same with Anthony as well. He interviewed 100%. Anthony, then he got injured as well. Remember that? Yeah. That was a real thing.
It was back. He made it back for the thing.
It was embargoed.
In them things, KG used to say, but Flex, you don't. I like when you just say this because your judge is strong. It does this, it does that. Now you're experiencing what happens when the pressure applies. You go, but wait. Flex. I wasn't on the pitch.
Flex,
I didn't make him do that.
Do you know what I want to do? Flex, I want to take this time, to apologize to you, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when we was doing the show, and I'm apologizing for the Arsenal one. You was like, we always do this. We score. Look, this is, you get a goal, and then look what happens. And guess what? After a while, something just becomes true. We've now seen
we just seen it different times.
We've seen it in so many different times. It's nothing to do with Flex talking. We're shit. No, guys, this is it. And I get it. I'll take the arrows. I'll take the bullets. It's my fault. Should never have made the song. Yeah. But guess what, guys? With a song or not, we're losing. Because why? We're shit. On thingy, there's no song for the Liverpool game. I haven't made anything. What's the prediction, everybody? There's no song. Hey, guess what? There's no song for Villa. There was no song for Bournemouth. There was no song for There was no song for Newcastle. we got pammed. Like, I'm telling you right now, yeah, I understand. I will take it. Like, cool, it's my fault. It's on me. Guys, what about the rest of the games?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
should be able to say right now, look, hands up, I'm not touching anything. You know the ones when you broke inside and you're, oh. I promise you, we're going to go for it. Like, I looked at the fixture list, it's disgusting. We've got West Ham. We've got West Ham, I think, away or something.
Yeah, away.
We've got Villa. And then it gets worse. Then we got, don't let us get knocked out to FA Cup by Wigan. Bloody hell. And then we got, it's nasty. I'm terrified. Honestly, I'm terrified. And I hope that Ineos don't come in and pull the button, like push the button and bring in Potter. That's the worst thing. Let Ten Hag, like, we have to be able to say, can our egos manage? Like, what's going to hurt you lot? Can you lot hold a 5-0? Can you manage a 5-0?
We're going to have to.
No,
I'm
saying, can you, no, don't say we're going to have to. Can you manage a 5-0?
I'm going to say, I don't know what it looks like, but I'm going to say yes. But in sacrifice for the bigger thing.
A 5-0.
Because it's going to be that.
We lost 7-0 at Anfield last season, and we went into that game with confidence. People forget that as well. Right. The circumstances are different because we went into that game just winning the Carabao Cup, and Liverpool weren't that good. And we were like, I tell you what,
AGT was shook.
Yeah.
All right, you lot? All right, cool. Can you lot manage another 7-0?
I said it could be that again.
No, I didn't ask that.
I won't turn up for stuff. No. Well, it depends how you want me to do it.
I'm saying
if you want me to turn up to DR, if you want me to do content in the media after, probably not. But I could like the same way I was saying to AGT, yeah. It's not out yet, is it actually?
Today.
Okay, today, later on today, 6:00. But I was saying to him, a little bit of a spoiler, but it's part of this. Like the same way how they won 7-0 and he didn't think that was possible. They lost the very next game to Bournemouth, and I was sitting here right in this chair with a cherry aid, can of cherry Coke, going, you won 7-0, but this is what I said, we're still going to finish above you. Cherries just burst you. Look at this. There you go. I was doing that instantly after the 7-0. That's how quick football just does this thing, and then we're in the mud again, even after they just won 7-0 because they lost straight away. But it's different this time.
No, Owen, if you take a 7-0 and our manager says, I thought we played well in the game.
No, I won't say that one. Don't be stupid.
Well, I'll tell you my answer to that, KG, is let's get to some super chats. Amanor says, don't go anywhere. Eric Ten Hag needs to pick Varane. These were super chats that we said earlier, but you missed them. You guys are doing this. This is my favorite one this morning. You guys are doing a great job. What are your thoughts on Hansi Flick and De Zerbi if Eric Ten Hag is sacked, if things get worse? Have you even allowed your mind to go there, any of you?
I haven't even thought of any manager.
Do we have to think of it more, like of what that could look like, or what?
Well, we're not gonna, bro.
Most people is like, who's out there? Who's out there?
You guys, they've said who our new manager is. If it goes wrong, put her in. That's what they're saying.
Well, they've said he's on the short list, haven't they? They said that he's on the short list, and the report yesterday kind of maybe suggested it was more sort of contingency plans. If results continue to get worse under Ten Hag, they might come in and they might have to make that decision. But they want to be better than the current people in charge at Manchester United. So it'd be naive of them not to plan for the worst case scenario. And if that worst case scenario came to be, they would look at Graham Potter, maybe. My concern is, and I said this yesterday, is that for all of this Graham Potter talk and for all of the initial reaction of, bullshit, that would never happen, it feels like that one does have legs. That one does have legs to it because Ineos offered him a job this year. They offered him the Nice job, so they've had conversations with him. In addition to that, they've spoken about wanting a British core to the team, bringing the Manchester back to Manchester United. In addition to that, they want Dan Ashworth from Newcastle, the sporting director. He had previously worked at Brighton with Graham Potter, so they're looking for that synergy. And this is really alarming. Someone pointed this out in the comments, and it's so true. Before Dan Ashworth was at Brighton, does anyone know what job he had before that?
No.
He was working...
Was he at the cycling thing?
Nope. He was working with the FA. And if he was working at the FA, then he may have been working with a certain English national team manager called Gareth Southgate, which, I mean, terrifies me. I'm not going to lie. Terrifies me.
Southgate's got England further than they've ever been since '66.
Flex, I think there might be more problems with your connection. Because did you just try and throw?
Did I just state a fact?
Did you throw
Maybe I
Gareth
did.
Southgate's name into the hat?
Don't say
No,
it.
I'm just saying he worked with someone who's got England further than any other manager since 1966. That's what I said.
He's also
Nothing to
maybe
do
had
with
one
the
of our best
generation of
squads.
players, no?
Yeah, maybe had one of our best squads, ever. And
Nothing
he
to do with-
basically had a home Euros and faced a team in a final that didn't even qualify for the World Cup before and after that and lost. I think I
And he's
wonder
gonna, and he's going to win this Euros, giving us belief.
because of Jude
Get him
Bellingham.
out.
Golden
Get him out.
generation.
Yeah. How do I kick someone out?
No, don't, because my connection's hanging on as a freak. Please don't. I'm joking.
Keegan says, nothing worth having ever comes easy. We said there would be ups and downs, but we have to stick with the manager.
That's why I'm
That
sticking with
time
this
is
guy.
now.
I'm sticking with this guy. I am. Hello?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
We're
cool.
waiting.
You got silent, and I was like, "Wait, what the hell's going on?" I look at the
You were
comments.
talking.
Nah, you know what it is? No, it was really quiet. I'm sticking with this guy, man. I get it. Don't get me wrong. If we lose heavily against Liverpool, I'll be upset. I'll probably in my reactionary bag, and I'll probably say things that I didn't want to say. Do you know what I mean? Well, I felt at the moment in the time, I can't manage. I don't think I can manage a 7-0. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not gonna be. Remember, on screen, living it. Like last time I was on a flight. I've been in a game where I think we lost 5-0 to them. I don't know if we lost 5-0 at home.
Yeah.
Then Hannibal started fighting, like doing up the Streets of Rage
That was
thing.
the 4.
No, that was the 7-0.
No, that was 4. That was 4 at Anfield, wasn't it? That was the first match for you that you two did in the new studio. I remember that because that was the.
Oh yeah, when Harry
not
was like,
that one.
giving
There
him
was
the
one
shit
at
passes.
home when
Yeah.
we got moved
No,
to at
that was
home.
the 5. No, that was the 5-0 where Pogba got sent off after coming on at half time.
That was 4.
That's
That was
it.
4, wasn't it? That was 4.
No, it was
Listen to
5-0.
what
5-0 was at,
Five.
5-0 was at home. You were in the crowd that day, KG.
That's what
Because I
I'm
remember.
saying. Yeah.
KG
I
was
never
in the
forget,
crowd.
and I remember
Because I was
looking at
doing the
him
match
down the
for you.
concourse.
He called me. He called me during the game whilst I was on the
It's
match for
clear.
you. And he literally
It's
went,
clear.
and I was talking to him, and I went, KG, why are you calling me? He went, no one's around me.
You know how hard it is to just imagine calling someone in a bloody Liverpool versus Manchester, and she could hear me clear. I looked to the left, looked to the right of me, gone. People were gone, and I said, I can't like our club. Yeah, this is the thing. When we were winning my titles, yeah, and we played Liverpool could still win on that day with dead
Exactly. Still a
spearing
hard
and all
game.
these dead players. Man United, give it excuse my language. Like, give it a game. You don't know what I'm saying. You know what that little gap is. Give it one of those. Like, everybody, like, hear how the fans sound and say we can't embarrass ourselves. Let us do or die. The same way Norwich and these teams go to, like, big teams and get a scalp. If Man United are now become a mid-table trash team, on this one, raise your game. I need everybody to be playing out of control. This is ridiculous. These are our biggest rivals. Forget Arsenal, forget everybody else. This is our main rival in football. For me, yeah? What the hell are we doing? What, like, on this game, there should be no quarter. This game, we should go out there and mash it up. We have to win this game. But we're saying, what's the best scoreline that we can walk away with just a bit of just feeling some respect? Like, we're looking for an easy 1-0 for them. Man United, but then after, when you start looking at the facts, the cold-hearted facts, I was talking to Owen the other day, and he said, we haven't scored there in how many years, Owen?
Since 2018. I think Jose's last game was the last time we scored a goal at Anfield.
At Anfield.
You know
Are we
how
taking the
mad that
piss? This is ridiculous. And guess what? We're taking a striker who hasn't got a Premier League goal there. No disrespect, but I'm saying that it's insane.
And with Rasmus, I've said, again, people might hear the bit they want to hear instead of what you're actually saying. When you look at the Bayern game and you look at, like I said, the year 7 versus the year 11 vibe, like, that's what it was. Like, when he's playing against, like, because he's not getting enough touches and we're not playing through him at the best of times, we're asking him to just play back to goal against the biggest, most powerful defenders out there, and they're just bullying him. Like, he's just, as they say, doing doggies. Like, he's just running around, he can't get close, he can't do anything.
Hey, someone said, KG, you're asking the Toyota Prius to give it to a BMW M Sport, bruv.
I can't do it.
You can. You can do it. You can.
He's
Oh, we got a
brilliant as
couple
well,
more
by the
super
way.
chats, by the way.
That Sam guy, he's wicked.
Couple more super chats. Amador says, "Believe Africa." Harry Maguire, Scott McTob, Ineos. Ed says, "KG Judge over Flex Judge. We're doomed." Marcus with a big super chat, €24 says, "Morning boys. I stopped supporting this manager when he left Varane on the bench over some internal disputes. We lost games because of it. He is petty. He needs to relax a little. I can't forgive him for last Saturday."
Well,
bad enough.
Be careful, Marcus, because people will stifle you for your opinion.
Yes, I mean, by the way, actually, because people have been asking for this, we've actually got some community guidelines here on United View now, and one of them is, and I think it's just kind of a life thing, is that opposition and opposite opinions, they're welcome. The opposite opinions are welcome as long as it stays respectful, right? The art of dialogue and conversation has been kind of lost, hasn't it? In that you've got a different opinion to me. I've got one opinion. You've got a differing one. It should be, well, I don't agree with you because of this. Why do you think that? Let's hear your opinion. Let's hear your point of view. Not you're different. Your opinion is different. You're an idiot. You're rubbish. I'm going to jump down your throat. You're a fool. You're deluded. Get out of it. I never want to talk to you again. We're fans at the end of the day, right? People back certain players. People back certain managers. You can disagree, but there shouldn't be, I don't think, an element of judgment when it comes to it as well. I think all three of us.
Unless, though, but sometimes KG says, like, you have to.
I don't care.
I've learned to deal with it.
I want you to know, I'm not going to change. I'm exactly who I am. And I don't care. Honestly, like, I'm going to, when, like, I will make more.
Can I ask you one thing?
Yeah.
I only want to ask you one thing. And for every one thing I ask you, you could say it right back. It's just funny. Just because we have to do this.
God.
Are we still one striker away?
Oh, God. A good striker.
Do you remember that argument?
So if we had Harry Kane,
KG,
if we had Harry Kane right now instead of Rasmus Højlund, would we be top of the league?
Nah, because we got Onana in it. I didn't think it was gonna get out. Like, you have to understand, a lot changed when you get Onana. I thought Onana was
nothing. He didn't even talk about all the other positions. He goes, "We just need we're one striker away."
No, but we were second. If you just
and that was after a loss. I think I was after a loss on one match for you. I remember it. And I remember going to KG one strike away.
Do you know what's funny about this year is, and I get it, and I get the guns are out, but then I like my things are all filmed in it, all the stupid things I say. I know that this audience, these guys, these pricks that are saying that they want the manager out, they were.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Yes, they was.
No, stop. You
just
just said no. No, stop. Pause. No.
Let's keep it civil.
Yes,
These pricks,
I can say it.
No, you
I'm
can't.
going to say it. I'm going to call them pricks.
No,
yeah, I am.
No,
I am. No,
that's
because
wrong.
I hear it, and I know there's community guidelines, but I have to say this. These guys,
there's going to have to be a consequence for this. Otherwise, they're going to think we're like Ten Hag, where we say one thing and they're not going to believe us. He has to be reprimanded. I can't
believe. I've just been up the new community guidelines and KG broke them a minute in.
Owen, you got to take him out. You got to mute him. You got to do something for like 30 seconds.
Why?
Owen,
Why are you going to censor me?
Owen,
let me say what I want to say. Then you can censor me, please.
Owen, there needs to be 20 seconds where we take power and then you can go back to him. You can't do it. We're making a mockery of ourselves.
I think I've muted him. There you go. I've muted him. He can't. He's not coming. He's not coming.
Even for 20 seconds to show the community that, like, we can't stand for that. We literally just told them instantly just now what the community guidelines. You're not going to be judged. You're not going to be called names for a difference of opinion. And he's just gone against that straight away.
Yeah,
we will let him speak. We are going to let him speak. Eventually. But if we don't make a stand in that moment, our credibility's got. You're not going to trust us.
Yeah,
and that can't happen.
Yeah,
that can't happen.
I like seeing him try and talk and then he's still muted.
You're not back yet. You're not back yet. But all right, bring him back. But just guys, so you know, we reprimanded that because we mean what we say and say what we mean.
Yeah.
I've thought about what I did. Yeah, while I was where I was. I want to say that a lot of these Man United fans, it was 90%. They done a poll on Ten Hag. And people wanting Ten Hag to come to this club. It was over 90%. I remember, and don't get it twisted, the manager that I did want, he's actually doing well right now. It's doing even worse than Ten Hag in Poch. I remember being lambasted, cussed. I remember, people, getting rinsed, telling me this manager is the thing. How dare you, KG?
Yeah.
And guess what? Yeah. Now, those people, this is the same people that told me I shouldn't I should want this manager, don't want this manager anymore. And they're telling me, why do you still want the manager? Do you know how confused I am? You told me this is the way forward. I've now bought into the thing, and then you're telling me, why are you still standing over there? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. How we got here? I want to understand. So I get it. I've made mistakes on my, in my fan journey. But guess what? I'm a fan, yeah? And fans are going to make mistakes. We feel like certain players. I got really excited. I still like Amrabat, but certain times I watch Amrabat run, and I'm like, right, he's slow, when he has to...
I told you that one. I told you. It's real. I told you.
Like, no, but sometimes I love him. I love Amrabat, but I'm like...
Do you know what I think we should do as well? I think we need to be more open to hearing things from certain opposition fans. And what I mean by that is, like, Mason Mount.
He's stiff. He's got this.
But when I said it, they went, Flex, you're being too harsh. But I'm saying I could see it from earlier. I was like, he can't move.
No, but he's just a bit slow. He's not quick. And I have to accept now that
and
he's
if the
not
game,
a quick
if
player.
around him, if we get it right, he can have a role.
He can be
it's
good,
like,
but he's just...
It's not what we thought. Bro, just quickly, Owen, before you come back in, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Again, this is how mad we are as fans, yeah? And I'm saying all of us here, right? Because I'm not trying to compartmentalize. We said, and me, I was one of the biggest advocates for Amrabat. So I was there and said, we have to get this guy. So I'm cussing myself here. Let me talk of me. I said, yes, because when we get him, we put him next to Casemiro in the big games, Liverpool away, Arsenal away. And I know we haven't had that yet, but I'm telling you now, I will sit here and tell you now, I couldn't think of anything worse than Casemiro and Amrabat in a pivot against a mobile midfield. And you might think, nah,
it might work. I think it's going to work.
No.
It's also the system, isn't it? Because the system
100.
that Ten Hag
hung out
plays,
to dry, mate.
they can't play man to man with Casemiro and Amrabat.
Yeah, they can't play that.
We've done this all season. This is what baffles me. Yeah, we've had how many people have been the solution this season? Oh, when this guy comes back, it'll be fine. When we sign this person, it'll be the. When Luke Shaw comes back, it'll be fine. When Anthony gets back in, it'll be fine. When Rasmus Højlund starts playing games, it'll be fine. When Amrabat starts playing games, it'll be fine. Once we've got Onana in, we'll start playing out from the back. It will be fine. And you start realizing that it's not actually about like any one individual. Collectively, it's just a shambles. Like it is. But midfield in particular, how many different partnerships in midfield have we done this season? And none of them will work.
This is the thing. Do you think, that like the system just needs to change then? Because surely there's a way, because not every player in the Premier League's a speed demon and stuff. There's some there's players that are like, I remember who played around like playing against Trippier, still couldn't get past him. Trippier's not the fastest player in the world. Garnacho and them lot, like, and then even Anthony and stuff. And Anthony, I don't even know what kind of pace Anthony's got because he looks like he should be fast. So it's really weird, like how he goes about his business. Some of these players, I feel like maybe we have to change the system or tweak it somewhat because it always looks bad. We said that Casemiro's legs were gone in that midfield, but he was in that midfield alone. Now we got Amrabat in that midfield alone. I've seen Kobe in that midfield alone.
He was in that rock alone, though, was Casemiro, because he had Mason Mount next to him, and Mason Mount was meant to be like the legs. And even that's what I was about to say. Like,
didn't work.
I feel like we've got to listen to some opposition fans here. When we're buying certain players, Mason Mount, all of the Chelsea fans said, take him. They did. Like the vast majority were like, I'm happy to see him go. Matisse, I mean, we don't like listen to Matisse for that much, but he was like, cool. A lot of the Chelsea fans were like, cool, he can go. And then we've come to Man United at the moment. And again, I don't like being like after a few months, oh, they're a flop. But that one, we talk about signings that haven't worked out. Mason Mount's barely played.
Like, no, but then again, in the same breath, though,
through injuries, and also being left on the bench, KG. Yeah, but Kai Havertz started to pay off now for Arsenal.
Exactly. In the same breath, they're all laughing with the Kai Havertz thing. But if Kai Havertz goes there and is part of it, and if they do win the league, well, he's also going into a squad that's better than the squad that we've got. And in addition to that, Kai Havertz actually playing. Mason Mount's barely played for Manchester United.
He has hardly played. Look, my thing is, might be biased. People disagree with me. I still think he could be a good player for us. I really do. I don't know.
We said this earlier
I
on when we
know.
signed him. We said,
I
I
do
don't
think
get
he
it.
can be.
There was this feeling
No,
of,
but
I
even out of the
don't
don't get it, I actually did. I kind of did. I actually thought he could. I actually thought he
That's
could
the
fit into the
one.
system.
That's the one decision, yeah, where like I've had side eye on the manager ever since that move. Cause like, wait, what's your plan? And when you bring in him and then you
Especially with
move
Bruno.
you move Bruno out to the right hand side. I'm talking, you haven't got a lot of money to spend, yeah. It's like almost like I don't have a lot of clothes, yeah, but I'm going out and I just buy a Gucci belt. Wait, what? What else am I doing?
Got no
Like,
shirt.
what shoes am I? Like, what am I doing right now? I still need an outfit, fam. This is insane. How's this Gucci belt gonna help? Do I even need a Gucci? Like, am I wearing, like, what am I doing? What am I dropping right now? It makes no sense, bro.
I'm looking at the game against Spurs when everyone was fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The game against Spurs when everyone was fit was Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Shaw. So that's the back. That's what we wanted to see. It was Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Garnacho on the left, Antony on the right, Rashford up front. Now, obviously, Højlund wasn't ready yet. So that probably would have looked like Rashford on the left, Højlund up front. And that was a 4-2-3-1. And I remember in them first 20 minutes, and again, this is slim pickings, by the way. I'm not trying to say this is why it'd be fine. But in the first 20 minutes, when we were doing what we were meant to do, like loads of games this season where we've done all right for half an hour, then fade off. In that first 20 minutes, I remember looking at Mason Mount and saying, I think this is what it should look like in that 20 minutes. Like he was high up.
Bruno playing?
Bruno was still playing in midfield because Antony was on the right. Bruno was playing.
So
basically, we had two eights.
Casemiro.
It was like in certain pressing triggers when we were going after them, Casemiro was the deepest, and you had Bruno and Mount as like, especially Mount as like the initiators of a high press. And obviously with the way Spurs were playing with Pedro Porro and Udogie going infield, you know, trying to get on the ball, we won the ball off them like 3 or 4 times in a good area.
Now I'm going to ask you, Flex. Hold on,
yeah.
keep this thought though.
Yeah.
So that was against them, yeah.
Yeah.
In big games, do you trust the midfield of Bruno, Casemiro, and Mount?
No,
Even
because
before exactly. That's what I'm saying. So there's,
but we didn't see it for long enough. We didn't get to see it for long enough because after that they all started dropping like flies. And I'm not using that as an excuse.
Eriksen, he brought him in to turn him into the Eriksen player. He tried to like rebrand Mount and say he's going to learn this position. Why? Like,
no, because he runs. I don't think he is.
Well, and also as well, he changed his mind. Like clearly, he had an idea for Mason Mount when he brought him in. And then he got that injury against Spurs. And then after that, he barely put him back in because he changed his mind. That he went that midfield, that idea isn't working. And in addition to that Spurs game as well, I think we forget, like, we started all right 20 minutes, but then Ange tweaked some things and then we were nothing. We just completely, I mean, and this is where you get into, because I remember criticizing Ten Hag that day, not helping himself. He made weird changes. We ended up with a front three that day of Bruno on the right, Sancho came on and went on the left, and Rashford was up front. And I remember at the time, baffling me because I went, there's 3 players there up front. They're all in the wrong position. Bruno's not a wide right player. Rashford can't really play through the middle. That was just through circumstance. And Sancho, we bought him to be a right winger. So they're all in the wrong positions. And again, that just kind of, I'll criticize Ten Hag that day, but actually, when you look at recruitment, you go back to, that is almost the definition of Glazonomics. Spending all of this money on an expensive front three, apart from Rashford, came through the academy, but on big wages, and they're all in not the roles they're supposed to be in.
Do you know what it is, though? Let's be real. Like, right now, it's a multitude of things. Like, the manager's not helped himself. The manager's made some poor decisions, but the players have been bad. Like, Rashford having this type of form is disgusting. Bruno being out of form is terrible. Like, all the players are chosen this time to be out of form as well. Onana not being able to keep the ball out of the net is ridiculous. I can't believe we conceded the most amount of goals in that Champions League. There's so many things, there's so many factors. Because right now, I get it. Everyone wants to step back and say it's all on the manager. Well, it can't be, because in certain games where we've had how many chances in front of goal and you've missed every single one of them, well, why does he get all the blame now? You lot were rubbish in those games. You don't get to say, you know what, that doesn't count. No, there's games that he set us up well to win, and then we're donuts. We're fools. We're donkeys. Like we'll do something and shoot ourselves. We'll do a misplaced pass the ball, like stupid, foolish mistakes. We're not following the runners. Lack of desire, lack of just positional awareness. Like again, the manager can't do everything, and some of these players have this thing where sometimes they want to down tools. Some of these players are just embarrassing. But guess what? That's not allowed. You see, in that Liverpool game, you can't do that. A lot of fans will be going there to that stadium and guess what? They're finally opening up another version of the standard that's something that they built over there. It's going to be
7,000.
It's going to be packed to the rafters. Man United, go there and try to silence these guys.
They're not going to do that.
They should though. We should be
obviously
going.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We won there since 2018. I'm hearing that's not right. That's wrong. We have to go there and make it count. Like when we said we watched Spurs versus Man City, and yes, that game went all over the place, but we thought Spurs
gave it a go.
Exactly. Man United have to give it a go. I don't care who's on the pitch. You, man, it's 11v11. Let's go. Are you man up for it? Are you man up for it?
But this is the problem we've got with the track record.
Didn't we?
Newcastle, Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? Like games where we've had to fight and show a bit. Like Newcastle last year, Aston Villa last year, Arsenal this year, Arsenal last year, Man City last year, Man City this year. Like all these big games, Liverpool last year. Well, actually, Liverpool at home last year. Actually, all the big teams at home, actually, last year was when we did actually do that, ironically. And it's like, that's so far gone from this squad. I was just, while you lot were talking there, I was listening, but I thought, let me just look at like how much things are changing game to game and try and get a picture of like where Ten Hag's mind is at. And I'm just, you know what? The season goes so quick. You forget a lot of stuff, yeah? I'm looking at the midfield like game by game. I've just gone back to like August after the Arsenal game, then Brighton at home. I'm looking at like the difference of change. It's like he's trying to just play all these different players because nothing was working. Plus there was injuries. And then I look at Brighton. We even tried a 4-1-2-1-2.
Diamond, yeah, we did the diamond.
Yeah, we did the diamond. Like we had Højlund and Rashford up front, and I remember now, thinking back, going high up on was it Webster and Dunk at the time, trying to stop them playing out. Sorry, it's that's it. Van der Heek and Dunk. Sorry, and Veltman was right back. That was it, and he kept getting out. And I remember saying like he's trying something different, and because he's lost, and he went with a diamond of McTominay, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno in the 10, and it just wasn't working. The game before that was the one I think at Arsenal, whereby again it was like Eriksen, Casemiro, Bruno, because again he couldn't use Mason Mount, and against Spurs it was Mount, Casemiro, Bruno. Like it's been changing ever since, every single game. So there's been zero consistency. The manager second-guessed himself because he's like, shit, I'm in a bad position here. I need to try and do something. And there's just been so much change. And is it going to calm down in the new year when we've got one game a week and, you know, Martinez comes back,
that's
we get players back calm?
That's going to help us. One game a week. We need it.
I think he'll see to the end of the season, though. So I think that's what he's got going in his favour. I think he'll see to the end of the season, and maybe those players come back in one game a week that might help him out. The weekend's going to be shit. It's going to be rubbish. We know that. The only thing is, what you were saying though, Katie, what you were saying we have to try. My worry is that that's what we fought against Bayern. Like, I think a lot of people expected us to lose against Bayern. And not that we were okay with it, but it was like, as long as we put in a performance, as long as we show some fight, if it's just that Bayern are just, you know, they're just better players and we, you know, they're just too good for us, but we put up a fight, we lose 3-1 or 2-1 or whatever, then I think people would take it. It's the fact that it was a must-win game. We had 5 shots in total in a must-win game with 1 on target. And particularly in that second half, it was so just flat. Bayern didn't have to get out of second gear. This was driving around the estate settings 20 miles an hour or whatever. It was nothing. It was nothing. And I just thought in that game, when even if you're 1-0 down or it's 0-0, when it gets to like 70 minutes, 80 minutes, you go hell for leather, throw everyone forward. Because Ten Hag said it in the press conference, atmosphere is always good at Old Trafford in the big games. And since he's been there, it has been. You've got to give him something, though. You've got to give him something. He said, we've got to energize them. And that wasn't a performance to energize them. Now, when you're away from home, it's completely different because the crowd's going to be up anyway. But You've got to fight.
Don't
You've
embarrass
got to fight. And
yourselves.
last season,
Man
some of
United,
our
don't
best
embarrass yourselves.
performances,
Exactly.
some of our best performances at home weren't even necessarily the best technical performances. When we beat Liverpool, when we beat Arsenal, when we beat City, we beat them by grit. We made it really nasty from that
Exactly.
day. You had the fist
And that's
pumping, you
all I
had the
want.
high
But we
fives.
can't. We don't have it in
haven't
us.
seen that. We haven't seen
No,
that for a
we
while.
do. Those players need to. They have to do it. It's one game. You have one game to prove yourself. That's all you have right now. Do you want to stand up to the challenge, or are you just gonna melt? Like, what do you not want to do? This is Man United. You wear this badge. Are you man serious? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at you have to look these players in the eye and know who's ready to go to battle. And the ones that can't battle, get rid. You have to get rid. I have to be able to see them, scan them out, and they have to go first. Before we make any managerial changes, get rid of those shrinking violets. They don't need to be there, because guess what? What are you doing at this club? If you go into this game and you're saying that he's not available, but you're here, what do you want to do? Are you ready to go? Because I just need players. I need players that are ready to get on that pitch and run every cover, every play of the grass. Are you serious? Let me know. No, wicked. You don't have a future at this club, because we're only gonna try and strive for these levels. So then now, at least we say, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. Piss off. Okay, let's move. Because those are all those players I have to get rid of. I'm not having it. These lot are not allowed to go into this game and be subpar because Bruno's not here. It doesn't work like that. Because I watched Newcastle with their B team or something come and smoke us.
Exactly.
They were ready. They were ready. They got the job done. So you lot don't get that excuse. No more excuses anymore. You, man, go out and be as good as they are. Meet them. You might not be as good as them technically, but that doesn't mean you don't give as much in terms of energy and trying and just the willingness. There needs to be a willingness from Man United Football Club. That's all I want to see. In that Liverpool game, I want to, when they come off the pitch, you say, you know what? They gave it everything. And guess what? In all these games that we've been watching, I can't say that. Against Bayern, I can't say, you know what? That was an everything performance. I'm not even mad. I leave and I think, you lot are embarrassment. Not today, bro. In this Liverpool one, roll your socks. There's so much to do it for, fam. There's so much to do it for. You want to, like, ferg everyone. There's too much to do it for. We're not going out like that. You, man, be better. They're saying, I just want to humble. We should go there and win. That should be the aim. 1-0. That should be the aim. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. We need to win. That's the real feeling, if I'm being honest. And I've seen, when we won titles, I've seen Liverpool teams still beat Man United, and they took that. That's all their fans had for the season to sing about, but they took it anyway. We need to do the same.
Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. And the harsh bit is, you say that, and do we feel like that's going to happen? It's like, no. But you're right. I just saw João Pedro's goal from last night, by the way, as well. Wicked goal. Listen, guys, we've got the press conference coming up later.
We've got super chats, by the way, Flex.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, we've got the press conference coming up later. I know it's peak times, but we do need some players back. Like, I know, like, you can say it doesn't matter anymore. I say it all the time, but you know, is Maguire going to be fit? Is Shaw going to be fit? Is Rashford over this illness? Let us know your thoughts on that. Do you care? Who do you want back versus who not? Kobbie Mainoo, has he got to play? I think so. Got to stick him in. There's no Bruno, so all you've got is Hannibal and Kobbie Mainoo as the other two. So I think surely Kobbie Mainoo has to start. Not going to be Donny van der Beek, is it? There's nobody else in mid. We have no other midfielders. The only fit ones we've got, well, and Dangor, but the only fit ones we've got is like starters is McTominay and Amrabat as starters, like out and out starters. And then after that is Kobbie Mainoo and Hannibal. That am I wrong? That's it, isn't it? That's all we got.
That's it, yeah.
That's all we got. And then obviously Dangor's not going to play. So it must be Kobbie Mainoo, McTominay, and Amrabat. I can't see any other thing, which sounds at Anfield away. This is the sort of game we're going to be in for. And I know this is what I'm saying, KG. You're saying run around. And
I like Hannibal. I think Hannibal should be in there somewhere.
But if you played, imagine you played Hannibal, Kobbie Mainoo, and Amrabat. I know there's passion in that and try and kick people. Hannibal would just have a yellow card after 9 minutes.
That our players are doing. It'd be better than the crap that our players are doing. We're playing our players and they're embarrassing us week in, week out. We're holding 3-0 to Bournemouth, bro. So there's no difference. What could happen?
Actually, don't matter. To be fair, it don't matter who we play. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that with Hannibal. My more, because I've been saying Hannibal should play more because he does run. But at Anfield, he will be booked after 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
he loses
guaranteed.
head. He loses
Guaranteed.
Head. He loses head. But listen, what's Scott McTominay going to do? Not hardly make any passes and just keep giving
Scott's
it
just
like,
going to be there, just running.
yeah. I don't know. Super chats before we get out of here. What was it? Where did we get to, Owen?
You're up to Seth Rollins.
I
Yeah.
thought so, yeah. As in, you've read Seth Rollins already?
No, I haven't read that one.
Okay. Seth Rollins, thank you for the super chat. Says, who do you think Ten Hag picks as captain if Maguire is out? We know Bruno out, KG. Sing my song, Seth. That's true. I was saying that to, did AGT ask me that? I was like, if Varane starts, it might be him. If Luke Shaw's back in,
Johnny Evans.
and I said it could be Johnny Evans if he plays. There's not many. Just not many, is there? William Turner says Ten Hag appears to be behaving as if he's still with Ajax, creating conflicts with top players like Varane, a World Cup winner and a 4-time Champions League winner. This manager won't last. Kishan says, I know we aren't one striker away, really, but we are 10 points from the top. If we had Kane, we would have beat Palace at home, Bournemouth at home, Brighton at home, question mark. Would we, sorry. Would we be 1 point from top or better? Haha. Yeah, it is a big ha-ha because there's so much else wrong with the squad, but I get what you're saying. Harry Kane gets goals. Ash Odu, been a member for 17 months. Big up to you. Says, can I ask what basis you are backing Ten Hag? Honest questions. Is it signings, the takeover, squad improvement, style of play, or just pure hope? Big up. Just really quickly, KG, what's the
great question. Currently, right now, it's hope, and I know he's got good tactics. I know he's a good coach.
Owen?
I was laughing at KG. I thought he'd fallen asleep.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was thinking about it because I was like, that's a great question. I tried to. Yeah. I really had to think about that one.
Yeah,
I'm more so because I just don't want the players to succeed and throw another manager under the bus, honestly. And I do think he is a good coach. I think the structure's failed him.
Yeah, I think the takeover definitely plays a part for me. I will say that. And I do think in there is a good coach, but we'd have to find it with a different situation. Ginger Beer says, fans who want Eric Ten Hag out, welcome to reality, Potter. And Kishan says, it's not about one player, it's about the collective. Martinez, Casemiro and Shaw out for the majority. Rashford, Bruno have been rubbish along with Varane. This was the core last year. This can't be on Eric Ten Hag. And Benji says, apathy. Bournemouth game hurt, walked out at 68 minutes.
Jeez,
68 minutes. Yeah, there you go. Right, guys, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. KG, I believe, is going straight away live. If he can find the energy, he looks like he might be going to sleep or whatever, but he's got the energy.
This is fake energy. After my stream,
you'll be redirected there. You don't even have to go anywhere. Once the stream ends, you'll be sent straight to KG. So you don't even have to go anywhere. Just sit tight. Don't do anything.
Exactly. And we'll see you for the press conference later on. And there's a preview of me and AGT from COP TV going on as well. Peace.